Hey there, welcome to World Talk, and this is where I speak with inspiring people from around the world. And my expectation is that at the end of the few minutes that I spend with them, you will be inspired just as I am to bring them to you. My guest today is a son of the soil of my country, Trinidad and Tobago, but he has worked with the likes of the Obamas, Didi, Beyonce, and Jay-Z, and he is the owner, founder of Pollen, and he's also an entrepreneur as well as an innovator. We're going to be chatting with him for the next 30 minutes or so to learn what lessons, or have him share the lessons that he learned over the years that he's been working, and maybe, you know, we'll pick up a little nugget or two that might help us along the way. I want to say special thanks to those who make this possible, the bunch of creatives that come together to do this every time we bring World Talk to you, from Heaven Sent Productions, InnoMedia, from Genesis Multimedia Limited, Imagine Media International Limited, Lex Smart, as well as this has been powered by Digicel. So thank you to the guys at Digicel. All right, if you like what you see by the end of this program, you can log on to my YouTube channel. That's Lisa Wickham. There it is, just right there. Okay, just log on and you'll see some of the episodes that you might have missed, and you can also see some of the other work that we do. And if you really like what you see, then you can log on to www.fundmetnt.com so that you can help us to continue this series for as long as we can. All right, we're going to take in a few messages, and when I come back, we're chatting with Collin Abraham. This is World Talk, and it's now time for me to join my friend Collin Abraham, who's across in the United States of America. Hi, Collin. How you doing?
Lisa.
I'm all hyper and excited, and you're like, Lisa.
Yeah, same here. Big fan.
Oh,
I must say, happy belated birthday.
Oh yes, very
so
much so. Thank you very much.
Happy belated.
Did, 12th of July. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, it's noted in the Palm Pilot. So
how are you doing? You are like in the epicenter of COVID-19 in the world, right? That's where you are right now. How are you coping with that? Because we kind of gone past you guys.
Well, it's fine. I mean, those of us who has heed the warnings of the likes of Governor Cuomo and Governor Murphy, you know,
Yeah.
we know the facts. We saw the seriousness in it, and we hunkered down.
Right.
You know?
Right.
We hunkered down. We listened.
Yes.
Mask up, gloves, hand sanitizer, Clorox wipe, Lysol, and we're good. You know, social distancing, and you'll be fine.
So we're here to talk about you because you're so inspiring, right? And as I established earlier, you're from Trinidad and Tobago, but I'm going to jump forward and say that, you know, you actually were the person with regard to the decorating of the inauguration for Barack Obama and the wedding of the secret wedding of Jay-Z and Beyonce. Ooh, can't wait to talk about that. You know, but how did that happen? How did that happen? How did you go from Trinidad and Tobago? You're a prison officer, right? In Trinidad and Tobago. And then how did that leap? How did that happen?
A long story. I'm not sure we can do it in 30 minutes.
No, you're gonna give me this. You're gonna give me the summary.
Okay. Yeah, abbreviated. After school, I went into the prison service. My dad was a senior officer, so I went there. I followed his footsteps naturally. I did about 10 years, and then I went over into the police service. I sure you didn't know that one.
I did not know that.
So I did police. I did police for a while. Then I followed my passion. My passion initially was music. So I went to do my degree in sound engineering.
Right.
At the Institute of Audio Research. So did that, and while there, Work, school, you know the hustle. Work,
So
school,
you
work,
were already in
school.
the US at that point?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So I was in the US working for this event planning company on Park Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And they, at the time, did a lot of work for a lot of the high profile, the
Mm-hmm.
celebrities and socialites.
Mm-hmm.
And I linked, we jumping forward. So I linked up with P. Diddy. That was my
Right.
first celebrity client.
Were
He kind
you
of
so
ushered
were you
me
doing
into this
music for
weird
him at the
lifestyle.
time? You were doing music at the time, or what were you doing at that time?
No,
Mm-hmm.
we because of the mutual friendships that the connections that we had,
Mm-hmm.
we I kind of conveyed him to bring his business to my company
Ah, okay. Okay.
then.
Yeah.
So we started doing his white parties in the Hamptons and stuff
Ah,
like that. You know what I
right.
mean? Those legendary
Yes.
hurrahs, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then then I started doing some more personal stuff for him. And because of that, led to Jay-Z. Jay-Z saw some stuff that I did for Puffy one time, and then Jay-Z started using me for his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Jay-Z, it spun off to L.A. Reid and Usher and
Yeah.
Queen, and
Wow.
it just snowballed from there.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
did you ever get the opportunity to stop, pinch yourself, and say, wow, how did this happen? How did I get here? Or were you thinking that, maybe when you were 15, 16, you had a vision for your life?
Um, I guess when you're 15, 16, you really don't know what life is about or, what path you're going to take. But I do sometimes sit and think, like, remember we used to watch television in Trinidad and you're up late at nights, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, watching all these videos.
Yes.
And you would see Puffy and Jay-Z, and I'm like, now I'm rubbing shoulders, I'm working for them, I'm talking to them, and I'm in their intimate spaces. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's yeah, it's a bit jarring. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
subliminal. It's yeah, that's when
Mm-hmm.
it gets you.
What were some of the challenges you would say you've had along the way? Or did you have, the life that was pretty much blessed, I would say,
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. What were some of your challenges?
You can't negate the fact that blessings played a part.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is a praying woman. So, that helped me along the way.
Yeah.
Challenges, I would say there were a few. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I've made mistakes along the way, like everyone else. Um, the thing about working for celebrities is learning their likes and dislikes, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Um, like for example, L.A. Reid is a very minimalist person.
Mm-hmm.
He likes whites, very minimalist. Jay, on the other hand, likes color. So I had to learn that going in. Maybe not obviously again I made some mistakes, but once you get it right and you
Yeah.
keep your designs fresh and consistent, they're pretty loyal clients as well. So
Yeah.
and I
I,
you know I I've had luck with that.
if you had to single out three things that you would say would be very important for anyone, we're going to talk about pollination in a bit, but anyone who is
Mhm.
an entrepreneur, we're going to talk about you being an innovator. What are three things you think would be important if you're just starting out that you think persons should pay attention to that would contribute to their success later on?
Finances, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Finances is one. Yeah, you have to be really, really careful with your finances. You know, as a creative, we tend to want to make everything better and brighter and
Yeah.
more fabulous. But with that comes a spend. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And stay within budget. Stay within budget.
Yes.
Um, Believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe in yourself that you can do this. You know what I mean? There's no inner strength but your own. You know,
Yeah.
um, pray, do your research. Research is paramount,
Yes.
because for the one me that is here, there's 200 behind me waiting to take my spot,
Right.
so one trip and fall and you're out the game,
Yes.
it's,
Yeah.
it's, it's, it's that simple. Yeah.
So I'd imagine that's where, so you gave us more than three, so that's good. But I'll,
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah, that's about
imagine,
7.
I'll imagine that's where the whole, the whole innovation aspect comes in. Yeah, you're an innovator. As a matter of fact, I don't know if people realize with regard, you've done all of this great work in the US, but you were the one that brought, we have here in Trinidad and Tobago, a signature event for Carnival. And when we open back up our borders, we'll invite everyone to come to Trinidad and Tobago for Carnival. But the Lime Fed, it's called Lime, and it's at the Hyatt Hotel on the Wednesday before Carnival, Monday and Tuesday here in Trinidad and Tobago. And you're the innovator for that. I don't know how many people realize this. So in terms of innovation, you know, how do you keep yourself relevant and current and able to create and generate ideas through a pipeline?
Research. You need to do your research on what's current. What's current in fact of textiles, fabric, florals, colors, whatever is new that's coming out, that's fresh.
Yes.
Keep abreast, you know, keep yourself abreast on, you know, on the current trend. Also not be afraid to take chances as well. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You may want to, someone may want to do something, for example, a picture that you just showed there, someone may want to do something for a centerpiece.
Yes.
And not all centerpieces are flowers. You could do fruits. You can incorporate fruits. You can incorporate colors, fabric within that centerpiece. And, you know, and your client might like it. You know,
yes.
If they don't like it, they'll tell you. But yeah, but more often than not, they will like it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some of the comments here. You know, you're just blowing up my Facebook page right now, Collin. You are.
Oh, really?
Yes, you are. And I'm seeing everyone is just loving you. But we got a question in from Andre Winchester. And he says, wow, that's amazing. What would you recommend for young event producers, suppliers during this time? So Andre preempted my question, but I'm gonna ask it now because you're in the creative industry. And with COVID-19, the creative industry has been seriously hit. What are some of the innovations that can take place? A lot of people are speaking about doing stuff online, and we've seen events online, but have you given thought to that, and what advice you'd give to the young entrepreneurs?
Well, what has happened in the world is definitely unprecedented. You know, we've had something similar in the 2007, 2008 recession, where we all had to dial it back. Events got canceled, events got postponed. Our industry is the industry that is considered luxury. So anything hits the economy, we're first to go. But I would say for someone young starting out, find someone that you could that could be a mentor, right? Find someone that could be a mentor. Learn from that person. Learn every aspect of your craft from A to Z, you know, whether you want to specialize in corporate affairs, social affairs, or both.
Yes.
There's some event planners only do corporate. There's some who only do social, weddings and stuff. If you want to do both, then you could double. But find yourself a mentor, learn from that person, absorb as much as you can, and obviously when it's your time to step out, fly. So you know. Yeah.
And what are you most proud of?
Accomplishments?
Yes.
Oh, in my life.
Okay, that's a good segue. Give me both. Should not have done that. Give me both.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with my professional career. I would say, obviously, the accomplishments working with the Obamas and working with Jay and Beyonce. That's the top of the mountain.
What was that like? You know, everyone, everyone would love to meet Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, but not everyone has that opportunity and privilege, I'd say. What was that like?
Mr. Obama has a spirit, charisma, right? He lights up a room. You have no choice but to be in awe of his presence. You know, he's that definitely a man's man. If you had a man crush, it would be definitely be Barack Obama. Yes. You know, and his wife is amazing as well. Michelle is amazing as well.
Yeah.
Obviously Jay and Beyonce. You know what you see on the movies and the videos in their private lives are two different
people. Never is.
Beyonce is a prankster, a jokester. Yeah, you know what I mean? She's lively. She's the one that'll be shit talking, as we say. You know what I mean? She's that type of person.
Do we have a beep?
But you don't get. Yeah. Sorry, FCC rules. Yeah. So it would be those two, and then
Yeah.
if I segue into my personal career, into my personal life, obviously it's my marriage, my kids, my family. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
How many children do you
That would
have,
definitely.
Colin?
I have 3 children, Lisa.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
And the oldest is 26, and the youngest is 11.
Yeah. All right. We're going to take in a few messages, Colin. When we come back, I want us to just segue a little bit. You're a black man, highly accomplished in America. I cannot let you go without us touching on the Black Lives Matter, which is taking place right now. It's history being made right now in the United States and the rest of the world. And then we'll come back and get some of your tips for the future in terms of what you want to leave your audience, your viewers, your fans. You have a fan club right now on my page with.
Apparently.
Yeah? Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Stay with us. We'll be back. I'm chatting with the fabulous Collin Abraham. He's based in the United States of America. He's an innovator, entrepreneur, and he is the owner of Pollen, and he's done work with, so many high-profile persons around the world, but he's also a philanthropist. So we're going to be joining him back right here. And I know that is very close to your heart, Collin, in terms of giving back and you wanting to give back, especially to Trinidad and Tobago. You want to tell me a little bit more about that?
Being a black man in America, it's tough. I mean, I've been fortunate never to have an unfortunate situation with a police officer. I respect all police officers, but I mean, there's bad apples in every bunch, right? And I've been fortunate, and I try to teach my son. I have a 26-year-old son who's in the Air Force, and I speak to him almost daily about how you conduct yourself if the police do stop you, because they may stop him when he's out of uniform and don't know who he is. He's just another black man. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I dread that phone call at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we try to impart a lot of knowledge on young entrepreneurs, give back where I can. Hiring a lot of folks in my area, in my town, to help work, give them knowledge. That's something, you say you could, if you want to feed them, and you teach them to fish instead of giving them fish. You know what I mean? So that's my mantra. Speaking to the young men, especially that 13 to 17 age group. It's a really volatile group. They're trying to find themselves in the world. So teaching them how to get ready for the professional life, how to shave, how to groom themselves, how to wear a tie, properly wear a suit, stuff like that we need as the older generation to look back and pass, reach back and help the younger ones, especially
things that people take for granted, and that even the handshake. I remember, Collin, going into a school and working with a primary school, and a simple thing as a firm handshake, many of the children had no idea how to shake hands. And that is such a significant gesture in our part of the world, in some other parts. Well, not now during COVID, we understand, but certainly at that time. And many of the children, and it speaks to confidence in them and esteem, self-esteem, yeah?
Correct. I remember one time a young, my office, and I remember a young man, African American, young kid, walked into my office, and his first thing to the receptionist was, "You all hiring our?" I heard him. my heart broke, because they don't know better, you know. So I called him, I took him inside my office and we sat down. I said, listen to me, if you're coming for an interview, that's not how you dress. That's not how you present yourself. Cornrows in your hair, I'm not dissing your hairstyle, but take it out, trim it down, beard a little bit, put on little slacks, the belt, put on a tie. You ain't wearing the tie all day if you don't want to wear a tie. Put the tie on and then you walk into an establishment. Hi, good morning, my name is X.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if you all are hiring anyone right now. You know what I mean?
But can I challenge you? Can I challenge you on the cornrow though? Can I go there?
Sure. Go there.
Because because I think the whole idea of what we look like and conceptually what beauty is and our definition of beauty and what is linked to blackness in terms of hairstyles and cornrows and so on has so been linked to the negative. That I find it really challenging that we have to adhere to certain rules of beauty to be considered acceptable. Yes.
Correct, and that's part of the systemic racism, right? Not being accepted. But I say that because the young man, his hair, as we say, it wasn't tight. You know what I mean?
It was a mess.
It was a hot mess.
Okay.
So that's what I meant. If you're going on job interviews, get your mom, your aunt, your sister to tighten it up. Grease your scalp a little bit and comb it back, and go hunting.
Sometimes it's important to present. I think the point that I want to draw out from you is that sometimes it's important to present yourself in a professional way in order to open the door, so that then you can go through and show what
simple thing as hygiene. It's simple as hygiene. That's something that prospective employers look at. And when you hear when you hear the phrase unemployable, you kind of know where that's coming from. So there's an entire generation that needs our help. They need our help, male and female. Male and female. So
that's what you do.
That's me.
That's what you do.
That's what I do, or that's what I try to do.
And in terms of, I have a question here that someone says, where do you see yourself taking the event business in the next few years?
The next 2 years will be challenging, definitely, because of COVID-19.
We
have this industry has been hit so hard, tourism, and it affects all the subcategories coming down below it, When the economy does get back online, and it will, and events will resume, because it's innate in who we are. You must have a birthday party, a wedding, anniversaries and stuff like that, funerals, to say the least. But this is a time to innovate. And when I say innovate, for those of us who have storage and have mountains of just event items, this is the time to work, teach your staff, have regular meetings with your staff about how to do things properly going forward. So when you reopen your doors, you're ready. You hit the ground running. You know what I mean? So if there's items that you have in your storage that's not using anymore, that you're not using, it's not usable, sell it, get rid of it. It's time to make a little bit of money or whatever, or even help out another event planner who's now starting and may want some of those things that you don't use anymore. Because as event planners, we rack up a lot of items, a lot. And that's one thing with I realize in the Trinidad and Tobago market, which I would like to see differently, because I been doing events in Trinidad, I realize every event planner has their own inventory.
Right.
There's no one-stop shop where I can call and say, give me 10 tables, 100 napkins, 50 chairs, 10 plates, 100 forks, and deliver it to me at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's done.
Yeah.
Like it's done here.
Maybe you were the one to come do it. There you go.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Do you think there's a space for online events and for event planners to be in that space? besides the promoters and the sponsors, as we saw, for example, with the Versus with Beanie Man and Bounty Killer. I don't know if you looked into that, but certainly there was some level of sponsorship. Money passed hands in that event. You saw the branding inside of there. But do you see any marrying of online and real events? You were the one who introduced the ship that came in to hire. Now they're doing it, but you were the one with Bunchy Collin, and I remember that. I think we had a photograph of that. So, you know, you're the innovator. So is there an opportunity for you? Do you see that at all?
Maybe it's a hybrid where we can have some of it online, some of it maybe with social distancing. But I really can't say right now because everything is up in the air. If there is a vaccine or some sort of treatment for COVID-19 in the next 12 to 18 months, and this thing goes back to normal where we can come together and socialize, then all that goes out the window. You know what I mean? Yeah. So right now we're just trying to tread water and trying to figure out what could be done. I see the online industry happening more in the business corporate sector. So instead of companies having 300, 1,000 of their executives coming together in Vegas for this conference or whatever, I see it happening online. You know what I mean? But social events, I don't see it as much because people still need to interact with each other. We need to dance. We need to, to whine, so to speak. We need to hold each other to hug. So I really don't see the online event space for the social event industry.
Yeah. Collin, we're out of time. I have one more question for you. Can you believe it? We're out of time already. So you were a prison officer, yeah? So you're speaking to a prison officer who might be sitting in Trinidad and Tobago. Maybe that might be you umpteen years ago. But it could be someone in Africa. We have people looking on from all over the world, in Africa, in Europe, in the United States. What's that message to that young prison officer who could be you? What would you say to them right now?
If your dream is for a career in the prison service, be the best prison officer that you can, right? Be that best person. Be strong, do your studies, get your promotion, run up the ranks, try and make your space the best space. If your career path is leading you out of the prison service, then do your best and then you segue. You know what I mean? Don't be like the greedy dog with the bone and you're going for this while negating where you are, because, and I'll be real here, the prison service is a very, very, very serious career. I mean, we've all known prison officers like get killed daily, police officers get killed daily. But being in a prison service in Trinidad and Tobago, back then when I was involved, it was a serious thing, and I can imagine how it is now. So I would just like shout out all the prison officers and all the police officers, Defense Force, Coast Guard, who's working tirelessly day in, day out, sometimes without thanks from the public. It is a thankless job, but you sign up to do something. You take that oath to protect and serve, do that.
Yes.
Protect and serve. Yeah.
All right. Well, Collin Abraham, thank you so much. We could chat for hours. We could even chat about what food you're missing from home and all of that stuff.
Roti. Definitely a shrimp roti.
And for those of you who don't know, never had a roti because you're looking at this from somewhere else, we'll figure out how you can get one sometime in the future.
That's another topic,
But Collin, such a great opportunity to chat with you for the past 30 minutes and, continue doing what you're doing. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you for having me. I mean, this has been amazing. I was excited when I got your invite, and I was doing cartwheels, so because again, I was such a big fan. I am such a big fan. So thank you for having me, and thank you. Shout out to everybody logged in. Yeah. And
well, I'm going to share with you who my next guest is, Collin, because next time on World Talk, I'll be chatting with Tatiana Ali.
Very good.
So we look forward to that. From one great person to the next. All right, guys. So I'm going to let you go and be safe. Continue to be safe. All right.
That was
Collin Abraham there, innovator, entrepreneur, and owner, founder of Pollination, and he's done so much work and continues to do that. Remember, you can log on to go on to YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. There it is, right? Lisa Wickham, and you will be able to see some of the episodes that you might have missed. And then, of course, if you want to continue supporting this series, WorldTALK, go on to www.fundmetnt.com. Look for WorldTALK and just whatever you can contribute to make this series happen, because it's a number of creatives coming together to do this and to provide inspiring stories so that you can continue to be inspired by WorldTALK, persons around the world. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.